How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's a little slow these days because I don't really have a studio that's like workable at the moment. So I'm kind of between studios. I've gone back to the old house a few times in the last week. I was out of town last week for work, but um, I've been back and forth from the studio, just really glazing some things and loading up kiln and getting a lot of things ready to be fired. So that's really all I've been doing studio wise. And then earlier today, I was working on the floors in the new studio because we had carpet down, so we had to cut that out, rip it up. And we're taking I took the tack strips up from the edge of the walls and stuff for the carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine nailing those in the concrete floor. Like they must have used a hell of a hammer or one of those nail guns that go into concrete.
Yes.
Like it's nuts. So we'll have to get probably 30 of those nails out of the ground still. So that should be interesting. But I think Rachel's going to paint the floor this week. And then I'm planning to move things into the studio this weekend. So
what color are you going to paint the floor?
I think we just got like a light gray.
Nice.
Yeah.
How has it been with not much work? Are you enjoying the break?
I mean, it's not really a break. I'm going constantly.
Kind of a break.
I mean, I'm actually itching to get back to like making because I have a list of things that I want to finish up. Like I was telling some of my shops that like I moved. So I'm like, hey, this is my new address. So if you're going to mail any checks, like, send them here. And then if you're not in communication with them a lot, that's a chance for them to like open up and say like what they need. So they're like, I need mugs and I need bowls. And then this one's like, I need a restock of mugs and something else. And then they're like, yeah, I just replied to your thing about like the things that you're going to bring the next time. And we're kind of ready for that. So I mean, I haven't made anything this whole month, like wet clay wise. So it's a little bit tough, but I kind of set myself that I'm not going to work in any wet clay when I hit the end of September.
Yeah.
Until I was ready. But I'm kind of ready at this point.
You know that place that me, your mom, and Rachel went and delivered stuff to in Ohio?
Where you went and delivered things to?
It was that little town, and then we ate that food at the
yeah, in Lebanon.
Yeah, in Lebanon. Lebanon. Were they one of the ones that responded?
No.
Damn it.
Why?
I want to go back to that food place.
I mean, you can. You can always make a trip.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you can come visit and we can go there and I can deliver some things.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I haven't. I feel like I gave them a lot of stuff the last time. But I got a decent check from them recently for the last 2 months, so still selling things, but yeah, I'm kind of out of sync with updating my inventory of shops and like actually logging what I'm selling because I have like checks and lists sitting around that I need to like log. Yeah. It's taking me a bit, and then trying to like, still fulfill orders and find things when people order them, like in the studio or the house somewhere.
Yeah. It's a lot.
But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on.
Nice.
All right. How about you? You said you had a story for me.
I have a small thing and then I have a story. A funny story. Okay. So the small thing is my landlord at my personal studio got the electrician to hook up my kiln. So we did the first bisque firing. Hooray! And it went well. And I should do a glaze firing by the end of this week. So that's good. That's great. And
so when you say you did a bisque firing, does that mean that you actually filled it with work? You didn't just do the oxidizing the elements kind of thing?
No, yeah, I did the oxidizing elements and then I did a bisque.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do for people that don't know what that is? What temperature do you go to oxidize? What is that? Like, why do you do that?
Just bisque temp, just 06. It's fine. And you just fire the kiln completely empty. Yeah. Okay, so here's my funny story. So, oh, that was my shoe. So, okay, you don't know this probably, but I have this like fascination with old plastic cups, like the old ones that, like the ones that have the facets all the way around and then are like kind of short and have like logos on them and stuff.
Not really. Like, where would you get these cups at?
Or like the old cups that you used to get at like Olive Garden for kids cups and like
Oh, okay.
like those type of plastic cups. Like I love just old weirdo cups
Yeah.
like from the 90s that everybody had. And so one of my coworkers, Allie, would always bring in these cups and she had like it was from her aunt and uncle. She lived at her aunt and uncle's house for a while, and she would always bring in these plastic cups, and I'd always be like, "Man, that cup is so cool!" Like, because I really like plastic. Like, if I had a choice between plastic, glass, metal, and clay, clay would be last. Glass would be second to last. Metal would be third to last. Wait, yeah, and then plastic would be first.
So metal would be second, not third to
Yeah,
last.
metal would be second, glass would be third, and
Plastic would be fourth to last. So
fourth, fourth to last. Yeah, it'd be fourth to last.
why is that?
I don't know. I think it's because I grew up with plastic cups and plastic plates, and
Metal cups? You have a lot of metal cups?
my friend has metal cups. I like them better than glass.
I just think of like aluminum, like reusable water bottles, but not like metal cups, unless you're like a Moscow Mule or something.
No, like they have like metal beer cups and stuff. Um, or I have like a hydro flask cup, like beer cup. That's really nice that
Or
I
like a
prefer.
Yeti or something like that.
Yeah, like that. Anything with a really thin rim is what I like the most. And so, anyway, so I'd always talk to Allie about these cool cups, and then when we went to that show with you and Berea, um, me and Rachel got lemonade, and we got this like cool retro lemonade cup that I thought was so cool. And it was like, I texted Allie and I was like, guess what? I got this really cool retro cup and I can't wait to show you. And I like brought it into the studio and I was like, Allie, look at my cup. And she looked at me and she was like, wow, yeah, that's cool. Like, not even impressed at all. Like, not impressed at all. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like a little butthurt because I was like, why
Did you
isn't
tell
this
her
cup?
that in the moment? Were you like,
No, I didn't
really?
tell
You're
her
not
that.
impressed?
I was like, why isn't this cup cool? Like, what am I missing? And then come to find out, like 2 months later, that cup is literally all over. Like, it's like the lemonade cup for the fairs and stuff. But I've never been to a fair. Like, I've been to the fair, but like, it's not like a yearly thing. And I guess it's like
No.
really common
It's like,
around here for
that's
like a
not
lemon shake up.
fancy. That's everyday lemonade cup.
Yeah, that's like an everyday lemonade cup, and I had no idea. And I was like, why doesn't she like my cup? My retro lemonade cup.
Did she say Becca? That don't impress me much.
She
And then
didn't. And
Shania Twain just starts singing in the background.
that don't impress me much. I told her that story last night because I hadn't told her how upset I was. Not really upset, just like
So did you
kind of
just
like,
go home and throw it in the garbage immediately?
no, but I threw it in the garbage today. It was just sitting. It was just sitting on my
You couldn't use
table.
it after that moment. You were
I
so impressed
couldn't.
with it, and
It
then
even
when
had a
you
pink
shut it down.
straw.
Oh
It
man,
even had a
Rachel
pink
still
straw.
uses it.
Yeah, so anyway, and then I was telling her how much I love those cups again last night, and she gave me one, and I'm so excited about it, so I could take it to
Okay,
work.
nice. So she
So that's
she parted ways with one of her cups to like upgrade
well,
you.
one of her aunt and uncle's cups, but yeah.
Okay, love it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's my story.
Okay. How's the making going? I know we haven't checked up on Shitty Cup status or anything, but
Shitty cup status is good. That's what the bisque was all full of.
mm-hmm.
Shitty cups. And I've now progressed to tumblers and bowls because I was like, it'd be fun to make some tumblers. Really, what that came out of was I don't weigh the clay when I do shitty cups, and there was some pieces that were way too big for wine glasses. So I was like, tumbler it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, when it's too big and you can't even get your hand around it nicely, and it's like, this is awkwardly tall. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
this is
totally.
gonna be tumbler.
So we turned that into a tumbler, and then did some fun little bowls, and yeah, and I'm getting all of Rebecca's mystery glazes.
Oh.
From the studio. So I'm like taking Shitty Cup to the max.
Yeah, I
And
know that the glazing was a little iffy on your list of what you were gonna do, and you didn't want to mix them all up from scratch. And
yeah, so she has like 7 buckets of mystery glazes. So I'm stoked to see how terrible they are or how cool they are. I'm stoked to not even do tests of them and just like do a whole batch.
oh my gosh, that sounds
Yeah.
stressful.
It sounds exciting to me.
Are you gonna like? Are you even gonna do like some of the bowls you were talking about? We're gonna have like the bright colored inside, so like you could safely do those, and then throw in a few test ones, or you're gonna just gonna do like 3 shelves of test ones and like not know what's gonna be there.
Yes. I mean, I'm gonna do bright colored insides for the bowls with the stroking coats.
Like I would throw those in a glaze first, and then put like 6 of the mystery ones. So like not sure what they're gonna look like. I don't know.
The kiln is not that small. Right.
I know, but you could throw a few in like Rebecca's kiln, like throw 3 or 4 in a kiln and see what they look like.
I suppose I could.
I mean, you're
Yeah,
there every day. Transporting 3 or 4 cups is not that big of a deal.
I think they're gonna be all fine. I think you need to have more faith in the mystery glazes, Ryan.
I guess I'm just like I'd rather test them and see what they're gonna look like, and then like layer a couple and see like, hey, if I dip this color over this rim, like it's gonna look even cooler.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, and I got a show. I'm going to a show. I'm gonna share a show with one of the girls that I'm sharing my studio with. She signed up for it and then realized that she maybe didn't have the right demographic in mind, so we're gonna
Oh,
split it.
is it a 10 by 10 booth?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the show? Is it in Indianapolis or?
Yeah, it's at the fairgrounds. It's November 10th through the 14th.
That's a
So,
whole week. Wow.
yeah.
So it's like a
Yeah, it's
Monday.
like
Was
a
that a Monday
holiday.
through?
It's a Wednesday through a Sunday. It's like a holiday and gift show. So,
Okay. Wow.
that's
Yeah,
in
you got
like
to have
3
a lot of
weeks.
inventory for that.
Yeah, it's in like 3 weeks. So I gotta get my shitty cup game on point. Cause she was
Well,
like, I only have expensive stuff. And I was like, do you want me to bring my shitty cups and share a booth with you? And she's like, yes.
nice. Yeah, it's good to balance it out. Plus, it'll give you some like test demographic of seeing like if people
Yeah.
like it, what people don't like, and it's like
Yeah.
low risk for you to do that.
Yeah.
Seems like
So,
it.
well, not really low risk, but it's a pretty expensive show, but I'll make it back.
Okay.
It's an extremely expensive show. I'm just doing her a favor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Should I say how
Nice.
much this?
That's a long show though. Like Wednesday through
Yeah.
Saturday. Like that's got to
It's
be
$1,200.
shit. Okay, I was gonna guess at least $700, but
Yeah,
that's a
it's twelve hundred
lot.
dollars.
Has
So
she
I
done it
told her I'd give
before?
her 600. No, she hasn't, and she like tried to get her money back and everything, and so she was just like, I'm just gonna go and
Oh my
hopefully
God.
break even. So
That's
that's
a
why I was like,
big
I'll go.
Okay, that's a big risk for not doing the show before. Has she attended the show before at least?
No, I don't think so. She thought
Oh
it was a
my
different
God.
show.
Okay. Holy
Yeah, and
shit.
and then she found out that like she has expensive stuff, like really nice stuff. And then she found out the demographic of the show, and she was like, "Wow, they're gonna want cheap stuff." and I was like, I got you.
Damn. Yeah, you gotta have. I mean, you gotta have a lot of inventory for a show that long, especially if it's people are wanting cheap stuff. Like,
Yeah.
imagine how many small things you're gonna need. Like, you might sell out of stuff. I don't know. It's
Well,
nuts.
that'd be nice.
That would be nice.
I need to make some more pinch pots.
Yeah. I'm thinking about making some pinch pots here soon. I made some of those like small bowls, kind of like pinch pots, but not
Yeah.
quite as shallow.
Yeah.
And sold some at a show. They were kind of like extra pieces, and people were buying them at the last couple shows I did. So
Yeah, because your friend Becca knows the fuck what she's doing.
yeah, I was a little iffy on the pricing of them, but they were like $12 each or 3 for 30.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you were
Nice.
selling for less than that, weren't you?
8. I ended it at 8.
$8 each, no bulk discount.
Yeah, $8 each or 3 for
3 for 20. Okay.
And then before that, it was $7 each or 3 for 18. I want to say.
Yeah, I think that's what I saw my shot glasses for. Or no, 3 for 21. Yeah.
And before that, it was $6 each or 3 for 15.
Damn.
That was the first price.
Okay. Yeah, you might have some pinch pots in your future. All right. So, what are we going to go to first? Let me read a review first.
Okay.
So, thank you all for the reviews. I haven't seen any new ones in a while, but we still got a backlog of them, so I'm going to read one of them. And actually, I don't look at Castbox that much, but this one came from the Castbox, which is, I guess, a way of listening to the podcast, a different platform. This one came from the Watering Can Pottery, Terry. It reads, I enjoy Wheel Talk because Becca and Ryan are so relatable. Don't take this the wrong way, but they are not polished and pristine. Neither am I. They're just two friends chatting about pottery, business, and life. I like that because when all you get is the pottery and business without life, spouse, jobs, cats, depression, etc., I can feel like I am the only one struggling for balance. I do laugh sometimes at the yawning and swallowing, though.
Well, I've yawned like 6 times today because I'm fucking exhausted, so I'm sorry.
Thanks, Terry.
Yes, thank you. Oh, okay, now it's my turn. Now we're gonna do a listener question. It's like we haven't done a podcast in like 3 weeks or something like that.
I mean, we really haven't recorded in at least 2 weeks.
I know,
Not
because
just
Chris
us.
Birch was our last.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Birch was our last one, and that was a little off, like different. It was so good though. Okay. Here's our question from Emily Russ Ceramics. Hello. I have a question for the podcast, and I'm not sure if it has already been answered. Can a mug bottom or vessel be too thin? Some of my bottoms are very thin because I don't trim. I just smooth the bottom edge with my thumb, but is this safe for use? Should I be doing a boiling water test or something? Ryan, what do you think?
I would say you should definitely do some kind of absorption test. Not on every single piece, but at least to give you a baseline of understanding what your clay is doing. That would be soak it in water or weigh it before you put any water in it. I do it in grams, just log the grams, and then submerge it in water for 24 hours, and then take it out, dry it off, all that good stuff, pour everything out, and then weigh it again, log that, do the big number divided by the small number, and then you're going to get a 1 point something. It's probably going to be like a 1.4 or 1.04 or something like that. That's going to tell you that it has like 4% absorption. So you're looking for something that's like between 2 and 4 maybe, if it's vitrified enough to where it's. Is that right, Becca? 2 and 4.
I think it's 1 and 3 actually.
1 and 3. Yeah, it depends on what kind of vitrification.
It depends on what kind of clay. Like porcelain's gonna be
really low.
Really low, and then stoneware is gonna be a little bit higher.
Yeah, I would say anything over like 4.5 or so should be worrisome.
Yeah.
Like you're not firing your clay hot enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely do that, and then do the, what I do before I ship things online. I will do the Keurig. I will run water or like boil some water, and then like hot tea or hot coffee temperature, and then pour that. I pour that in my mugs and sit them on top of like a piece of
Paper.
like yeah, newsprint maybe. Just sit the newsprint on your table, put all the mugs on your newsprint, and then put some water in them. Leave it overnight, and then just see like, does it soak onto the newsprint? Is it like drastic? If it's drastic, then that sometimes comes with my clay is too thin on the bottom, and there's like glaze fit issues, and there's some subtle cracks you can't really tell until you get liquid in there, and then you could see it soaks in. So like, even though the clay's vitrified, I wouldn't sell it if it was leaking too much, because it's like, it's going to do that on somebody's table, and you don't want that. So that's where
I
the
think
thinness would come into play.
I think a boiling water test would be good. Also, just make your butts thicker. We like thick butts, and we cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. Because when a mug walks in with an itty bitty waist and a trimming in your face, you get sprung.
A trimming in your face? I don't like no trimming.
No, I would say make your butts a little thicker. But yeah, and I also if it's, I've had cups that were really, really, really thin on the bottom and they were fine. Hold it up to a light and look on the inside and see if you can see through it. If it's not porcelain and you can see through it, you have an issue.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, so it should be safe for use. I mean, you can have very thin porcelain or very thin clay and have it be safe. But you probably want a little bit more like a 1/4 inch butt. Okay.
Yeah. And you can sometimes tell, like, if it's really thin and you like tap your fingernail on it, like you can tell that it's like tink tink tink, and it's like so thin that it's like there's barely anything there.
Yeah, like, could I poke this through with my finger?
Yeah. I mean, even when it's finished, I'm like, this is thin. And you could like see a little bit of like movement, like the clay's not quite sturdy enough to where it like holds its shape. Like
Yeah.
it caved in a little bit, or it like wrinkled a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you can tell, like, ooh, that thing is thin. So I tend to also like, if it's another characteristic that I see is if it's thin and the glaze is doing some cracking or something on the inside and you can't see it, you will see it once the water absorbs into it, because it'll like, the water gets absorbed into those cracks and you can kind of see some of those lines of the cracks on the bottom of the mug where the water is absorbing into the clay.
Yeah.
And it like kind of outlines those cracks on the bottom of the clay. So that's something else to look out for. That could be like, hey, there's a glaze fit issue, that it's like the clay's too thin. It didn't absorb enough of the glaze, so it like started to crack. So
yeah.
Cool.
Hey, you remember how I was gonna have t-shirts by the end of October?
Were you?
Yeah. Or something.
Hey,
I found
pot
somebody
swap
I found yes. Also, we submitted pot swap is over. Well, it's not over, but it's just begun. And we had 724 people sign up.
It's only just begun.
Da, 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 da. I don't know that song, but I just thought that would go well with it. Anyway.
You found somebody local?
Found somebody local that prints t-shirts, and he'll do like small batches and stuff. And I think it would be fun to go through him.
What does printing mean? Like what is that? What does that mean? Like what kind of texture is this? I'm specific about my shirt. I don't know, like what?
You're like, not wearing it, Ryan.
I will wear it.
But okay, here's the thought that I had that was really fun, and I'm springing this on you while we have a whole live audience, not live, but a whole audience. And I think it would be
Oh
really
no.
fun. Shut up. To
Throwing
have
towels.
No, well, throwing towels too, but he has this shirt that I think is fucking brilliant, and I actually own one, and it's a white t-shirt and it's got white vinyl on it that says party. And so you're
White
supposed to get the
vinyl?
shirt
What does that mean?
like the white like shiny lettering or whatever.
Oh, the lettering is vinyl? Okay.
Yeah, like that's or the white t-shirt ink or whatever, the heat press ink that you put on. Anyway, like what your Kentucky shirt, the lettering's made out of, like
This is screen printed. This
that
is
stuff.
okay, so this is ink going through a screen. So his is kind of like that?
Kind of, yeah.
No. No, you said vinyl and it's pressed. That's way
But it's
different.
not vinyl, but it's like the t-shirt pressing. It's like what Andrew, like your t-shirt from Andrew has.
So it's like it's like a print that's stuck on it and it's ironed on.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, that's
That's
different
how
than
most
this.
t-shirts are done.
I mean, it depends on the way it's made, but that's an option. Yes. So what's this party thing?
So, God damn it. Anyway, so it says party in white, and then you're supposed to get like it dirty or like colors and then wipe it off, and then the party shows through the color. And so I think it would be really cool to have white t-shirts that say let's get dirty, and then with white lettering, so when your t-shirt gets dirty, it like says it.
Oh, so it's like a trick, it's
Yeah.
like an ink thing. Like
Yeah.
the dirtiness does not penetrate the letters.
Correct.
Okay.
I think we could sell a lot of them.
Where is this going? Is it covering the entire front of the shirt?
It's gonna cover a bit of the shirt, a bit of it.
It says let's get dirty.
Yeah, or something.
I'm open to it. I mean, I'm not personally gonna wear it because I don't get dirty, but need to give a couple to like Kurt Hammerly, like wear some white shirts and let's get dirty. His Hammerly ceramics uniform.
Oh my God, we should have one that says "Let's get down to business."
You have literally never said that.
I know.
That's an Eminem
Anyway.
song.
No, it's not. Let's get down
to business. Yes,
What's
that's
that song?
on
It's
his.
like dun 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 dun.
I don't know what that is.
Shit, I'll figure it out. Anyway, moving on.
All right, so we got some ideas in the works.
Got some ideas in the works. Yes.
I'm just a shirt snob. I don't know. I get so many graphic tees over. I get so many graphic tees over time that I'm just like, it's gotta be like, I'm not gonna wear a 100% cotton shirt. Like, I'm past that point in my life.
Oh my fucking goodness. Okay.
They're too hot.
How do you even know?
How do I know? Because I've wore hundreds of 100% cotton shirts over the years.
I don't even look at the tag.
Like, you know that they're 100% cotton? Yeah, you know.
Like, I won't even wear a 100% cotton shirt. You are so...
No, I'm not saying I'm above it. I'm just saying, like, I know that I'm not going to like it because it's going to shrink. It's going to be too hot. Like, I like a breathable shirt.
Oh, my God.
I'm more like a 60-40 fan or 80-20 fan. Like,
we're not talking about beef here, Ryan. Okay, moving on. What are we talking about today? I'm saying what
I don't know. What are we talking about?
Okay, so we are talking about customers today. And we don't know how long this will be. It might turn into us just jabbering about random shit like we've already done for the past 30 minutes. Or it might turn into a really great thing. Hi, Marble. Mapes. So what this came about is that, we have a lot of customers at Gravesco, and I'm not going to say any names or anything, but there's just a lot of customer interaction. And I was thinking about actually, there's a few things. Okay, no, I lied. Well, that also, because we have a lot of customers and we've been talking about some of them recently, but also when I was in the panel discussion for the Indiana Clay Conference, that will be, I'm going to edit and probably will put it up, I don't know, Halloween or something. But anyway, I said, know your customers. Like, you have to know your customers. Like, is your customer another potter, or is your customer somebody that has no idea that the bottom of a pot should be smoother than butter? Like, you know, are your, like, Rebecca's customers and your customers are mostly non-potters, I feel like. And my customers are all potters.
You're talking about for your fancy cups, or just period?
Fancy cups, but just period. Like, I have a lot of potters that follow me, you know. And like, yeah, you're right. Like, the regular stuff is not potters, but it's really important to know your customers so you can make pottery for your customer, you know.
Did you get questions at the panel about like customers themselves, or you just kind of brought that up?
No, I just brought it up because we were talking about like how to sell better and stuff, and I was like, why are you, we were talking about my shitty cups actually. and I was like, I'm not gonna, oh shit, sorry. I was like, I'm not gonna make the bottom smooth with a 60 or like, you know, like 120 sanding pad if I'm gonna sell this for $15 at a fucking booth to like somebody who's never cared about pottery in their life, you know. But if I'm gonna sell it to another potter, I'm gonna make sure it's like top notch, you know. And that doesn't mean that you're sacrificing on quality. It just means that you know what's important, you know. Like, I was like, it's more when you whenever I hear people say like, I spent so much time on this mug, and then they sell it to somebody who they could have sold it for potentially the same price and maybe not done as many things to it to make it as special, and it would have been just as great, you know?
Right. Because if you sell it to somebody that it was a stretch for them to spend $60 on it, and they get all these like bonus features that they don't really care about, and then if you were to sell it to a potter that like notices all those features, they're like, I got a steal on this mug because it was $60.
Yeah. And that's not to say that it's not, like, that's not to say that our audience and our customers are dumb or anything. It's just that, and not that they don't appreciate the finer things, obviously, but you know, like, we've talked about it, like seconds bins, stuff like that. Normal people love that shit. They love it if it has something wrong with it. They don't care.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I sanded a handful of pots back when I first got my sanding pads, like bottoms of mugs to like make them super smooth. But you know, at shows I tend to like have to tell them. Like a lot of them, like I asked a customer a few weeks ago, they bought a mug or something. It was one of two mugs that looked kind of similar, and they bought it. And I was like showing them the bottom. I was like, "Can I ask you a question? Like, was it a factor at all that the bottom of this looked fancy because it had like the zigzag bottom on the mug? Normally my mugs are flat, but that one had like a zigzag cut off because I did it." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I didn't really notice that very much, but yeah, that's cool." But it's like,
oh,
you know,
cool.
Yeah, somebody else would be like, "Oh, that's like unique. Like that's unique, just like the glaze is unique in the shape and like the fit." So it's like, "Oh, that's neat."
Yeah. Like, I don't sand the bottoms of my pieces, but what I will do is I will take a 60 grit diamond sanding pad to a show, and then when they hand me the mug, I'll do a quick sand, you know, to make sure that it's smooth on the bottom.
I've gotten back to sanding my pots actually. Not like sanding like 3 sandpaper numbers, but I'll take the 120, or I don't think it's a 120. It's a 240. I just take a 240. I mean, all my stuff is white clay for the most part, and then I do have some of the speckled. So I'll just do a quick like 15 seconds or 10 seconds on the bottom of each piece now, which is good enough to make it
with
smooth.
just a hand sander.
Yeah, I mean, I'll dunk it in water with the Diamond Core pad, the 241, and
Yeah.
I'll just do a few circles for 10 seconds and call it.
Yeah. The way that I've been doing the shitty mugs, actually, the new ones, like the last ones definitely needed to be sanded a little bit, or else they were gonna fuck up somebody's table. Yeah. And that's what I did with my like hand sander. But the new ones shouldn't actually need to be sanded at all. They're super fucking smooth on the bottom just because of the way that I did them.
Mm-hmm.
So I shouldn't have to do anything to them. But
I think
yeah, so
I think I started sanding because I heard a comment from Amy from Trice Studios. She was saying there was a customer that somebody said something was like, I don't want a $50 mug to scratch my $300 table or something. Like if you have a nice table or like a dining room table or a coffee table, like you don't want your mug to be scraping a nice table. So I was like,
absolutely. Like you don't want to have it like super fucking rough. Like don't
yeah.
be that person. But also
Not that
if
I'm
you
like sliding mugs on tables, but
right. But also if you have a $300 table, like get a coaster. Like fuck.
true.
Anyway,
But I
moving
mean,
on.
you get it.
Anyway, like but like you know, like these aren't sanded. The Graves Co mugs aren't sanded and they're not super rough. They're just, you know,
Based on the
like I just
process and the amount of detail that she has with her systems and whatnot, do you like I could see her if they decided to sand, they would factor in the price and they would add a little bit to the price, right?
yeah. But I mean, he has the water sander if he sees something that's a little bit fucked up on the bottom. He has a bowl with a sander in it, the sanding pad in it, and he just does a quick scrub.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, generally pots over time get smoother because it's just like they go through the dishwasher, they do all the things that it naturally sands them down. And I'm not saying have a super fucking rough bottom on the bottom, but like you don't have to smooth it so that it's shining, Isaac. Um
His looks
but
like
I
a
mean like
polished stone. Like
yeah, but
it look,
Isaac is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Like he has two separate lines, right? He has his line for his like locals, and then he has the fancy cups that he sells, and he smooths the bottoms of the fancy cups super fucking smooth because he knows that half of the people that are gonna get those mugs are potters or people that appreciate pottery, you know.
mm-hmm.
And the people that he sells to in Kansas, I guarantee you that he's not spending 15 minutes sanding the bottom of a mug that
Fuck
he
no.
sells to his wholesalers in Kansas. Like that's the thing. It's not that he's sacrificing quality. It's just that he knows that they don't give a fuck
But it's
if
also like production. I mean, do you want to be making 100 mugs that you have to sand? Like some
no.
things you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna take a simpler step here. The price is gonna accommodate for it. My
Yeah.
time is gonna be accommodated for it. And it's yeah, I don't like to call it like fancy not fancy or like I just call it like production and efficient versus like detailed and I don't know. You know.
I've definitely heard you say a basic bitch mug
I mean
before.
basic bitch, yeah. But that's like me calling it that. I'm not going to say I'm selling you a basic bitch mug to a customer.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, I
Um,
see it as like a time and efficiency thing like and your price, like you can sell it at that price and you're making money based on the price and that you're going to sell a big quantity of them, you know.
yeah.
So
Yeah, but what I'm also saying is that but what I'm like the whole thing is he knows his customers and he knows that he can do certain things and he has to do certain things for certain products, you know?
mhm.
And so
It's interesting that I mean, it's just a matter of who gets them in the end is that the person that's getting the super sanded one is online. So they're not actually getting a feel for it when they're buying it. They get that
that
after the
too.
fact.
That's another thing. Sorry. Um that's another thing. When you're online, you have to make sure that your pieces are like on point, right? When you're selling online versus when you're selling in person, because your customers online are expecting what they see online.
Mm-hmm.
And the customers in person pick up a mug and they're like, oh yeah, this is it. You know?
Yeah, they have to like meet or exceed expectations because it's a fine line there when you get it online. It's, I mean, you don't honestly know what they're thinking when they open the box, but you hope that it's like, hey, this is what I expected and more.
Yeah. Hi, Charles. Wow. Something's in my throat.
Drink up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, there's definitely like a certain protocol that you have to have online.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a? Oh, go on.
Yeah, with the there are some forms that I don't sand, like shot glasses. I'm not fucking sanding those. They're so
Right.
small bottoms. Like I'm doing these in quantity, so churn through those. Do what I can with like, with mugs or whatever. Just thumb off the bottom. Like that's pretty smooth.
Yeah.
And then some other pieces like, if you trim a bowl or whatever, just quick sand, not too bad. But yeah, I think I've just figured out there's little things that'll improve it just slightly. It also gives me more peace of mind that like, okay, it's a little bit nicer. I think I've thought about it more when I started using the speckled clay as well, because it is rougher, like you can tell. So
Oh
I
yeah.
just started sanded those first and foremost, and then that's when I started like, okay, let's just sand all the white clay ones too, because it'll just make them a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
So
have you ever, moving out of sanding, because that's not really the point, but we went there. Moving out of that, have you ever had a customer that you like fired? Have you ever fired a customer?
not really fired. I mean, I think it's more just when you have that. It's more apparent when I have the custom order that I do the back and forth with them and, see what they're expecting, see if it's feasible. If it's not in my ballpark, I'll say, I don't think I can do that. But I can also I'm getting better now that it's like, if this sounds like something I'm not going to be interested in and the price is not going to make it any better, then I'm just not going to continue to go down this like pathway, because that's when you keep going back and forth the conversation, and then the customer on the other end is probably like, okay, they're interested because they've gone this far into the discussion to like see what I want, that if you shut it down at that point, then it's like, what the hell are we doing here? So like I feel like there's more room for like disappointment or like aggravation from their side. So I'm trying to get better about like shutting it down earlier. I haven't necessarily fired anybody after I've like committed to something necessarily, like hard commit, like they paid me a deposit or
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, I haven't had that scenario necessarily. How about you? Have you fired somebody?
I've hired a few people, actually.
Okay. What kind of orders were they?
Um, okay, well, one of the first orders that I got, I actually fired. It was like this like workaround, and um, it was just a lot. And
This
I was like,
workaround
you know
as
what?
in like you were doing something for their situation to like make it work for them, but it wasn't
Yeah,
really
like,
beneficial
and
for
they were
you to
like,
do?
oh, can you do this? And I was so new that I was like, yeah, sure, I can do that. Like, yeah, maybe I can make pink. And
Oh.
and and then afterwards I was like, you know what? This isn't gonna work. Sorry. We're done. Like, it's not, no.
So it was a glazed conversation. It wasn't a form that you weren't comfortable with. It
It
was
was both. It was a forum and a glaze conversation. It was just like, it was just a lot. And so,
okay.
but I did it nicely, and I was like, I just can't do this. I'm sorry.
Did you do that through email or is it
I think it was through Messenger, but yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Did she understand? Did she accept it fine or
Yeah.
that's good?
Yeah, it was fine. It was really early on too, so I didn't have like a good grasp of what I was doing and like how I was doing things and like had any business anything at all. But I've had a few like blow-ups with customers, and I've thankfully um like I thankfully if a customer kind of like we didn't agree on stuff and they were too picky or anything like that, I I would just like avoid them. I'm like, yeah, just forget about me. It's fine. There's
So
there was one lady.
you forget about them intentionally in hopes that they'll just forget that they asked you something.
Yes.
That's like the cold shoulder that's like, please don't look at me.
Don't look at me. There's this lady in Leavenworth that was my customer, and she was really pretty picky, and it was not a good relationship, and I just kind of like dropped it, and then for years afterwards, I would see her at the market,
Oh.
and I would like run away and hide.
And then she's like standing outside your booth, like looking around, and you're like, she gone yet?
Pretty much.
Actually, that does remind me. I did have a customer that I was trying to do a custom order for that was like a really large bowl. I might have talked about this before, but it was like a 12 or 16-inch bowl, like across diameter wise. And I was kind of spitballing a price early on because I'd done like 8-pound bowls or whatever. And I was like 12-pound bowls, or, you do a certain diameter of a bowl of like 8 or 9 inches. And then you're like, I need to do something that's 12 or 14 inches. And you're like, okay, I've done something close. But once you scale that up and you're like, okay, now I got to go from a like 9-inch diameter bowl to a 12-inch diameter bowl, like that's a lot more clay, that's a lot more variables here of
Yeah.
like trimming and form, and it was very specific about the like the profile of it and the texture involved and then the color. So it was a lot. I ended up making maybe 2 of them, and then I was like, I can't quite make this size, like, and it's not really exactly what you want. Like, are you fine with this? And if so, like, I will abide by this price that you said that we agreed on, but if you want it at this other like thing that we initially agreed on, I'm gonna have to charge you more. So we
Yeah.
just ended up kind of parting ways. And I think I ended up selling that bowl for more money anyways because I just like I underpriced it a lot. So
Yeah.
that was the only time I would say like fired. I
Yeah.
mean, the only other situation I would say that was closer to like firing somebody, but it wasn't even a customer. It was like spitballing ideas of like a potential order. So like I wouldn't say that I fired them, but it's just like you go down the path of what do they want? And they're like, I get like 10 of these? Or they say like, can I get 10 of these spoon rests? And if so, can I get a certain price for them? Or they're like, do you offer discounts if I order so many? And I'm like, I'll offer discounts. Here's what I would do if it was at this quantity or more. And then they're like, what if I get like 50 of them? Can I get them even cheaper? So then they're like, you're back and forth. And then they're like, and can you ship them to the Middle East? And I'm like,
No.
and then you're like, oh gosh, I should have just said no early on because I knew that I didn't want to do this anyways.
Yes.
So it's like, and then that's where I'm talking about. You get down the path of like discussing this, but you're not committed yet. Like you still have an out if you want to have an out. So like I ended
Right.
up saying like, I'm interested in not doing this order. Like, no thanks.
I'm interested in not interested in it.
Sorry. Yeah, I worded that wrong. But it's like you get down a path and then they got aggravated or whatever. And I'm like, hey, there's a number of reasons that I don't want to do this order. Ultimately, the price doesn't matter. Like you could get 50 of these and it's actually going to be worse on me. I don't want to make 50. I don't even want to make 10. So like,
I think it's so important to be able to say no and to be like, I think that especially like early on in our careers and our like pot journey, we feel like we have to take all of the money no matter what. And like Really, if you take all the money all the time, you're losing money.
Like capture every single opportunity that comes your way. It's like,
yeah, some opportunities waste your money and they waste your time,
Yeah, that's not the smartest business decision.
Yeah, and I think that you just have to be able to you have to be able to see the red flags almost, in a customer.
Like, yeah, if there's something that's like irking you a little bit early on, like, do you think there's going to be something dramatic that like drastically improves the situation?
Right.
That would like make it way better? I mean, I'm not saying it's out of the question, but like there's little things that can like add up. Like somebody starting off and asking about a discount early on, like, how much back and forth are you going to go with them, and are they going to be happy, or are they going to be picky, or
Right. And also so like I'm thinking about a customer that's not mine, but you know, in order to get this customer, the prices had to be a certain amount. And because it was a high volume customer, it was, it was like, okay, well, we can do that. But then, like, it continued to be an issue. And now it's like you're barely making any money, the profit margin on those pieces versus the profit margin on the regular line pieces is
Yeah.
like so significantly different that, like, is it even worth it,
Yeah, you really like
And
made a sacrifice for them to say like, I'm willing to do this for you,
yeah.
but
And
in
when does
return,
that
I will need to like increase it. Like this is to get your business initially, but
yeah.
at this
Yeah, there
point, I'm
needs
going
to
to
be
need
some
to get back to normal so that it's beneficial for both of us.
yeah, there needs to be some like that's also the biggest thing, right? Is that especially with like wholesale customers, like if you're wholesaling to another small business, it should be beneficial to both of you. You know? It can't be like a selfish thing. Like a lot of people that it's like the typical markup is what, 50%, like, or 100% really, because
Yeah.
double.
Right.
But like, when you're selling such high quantities and stuff, and once you get into like gnarly business shit, it's like 5 times the price that you have, you know, and
Right.
at what point is the potter being appreciated? Like, they're not,
Plus, also, if they're going to buy wholesale, they are taking on risk by buying things at a discounted price in certain quantities. So, like, that risk is taken on so that they have a belief that they can sell that and make
Yeah.
their money back and make more money based on the profit and stuff. So, you know, it's not without risk to do that. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah,
the
for
point.
sure.
It's way easier for you to like take consignment and say like, I'm going to take 40%, but it can sit on my shelf and I don't pay for any of it until it sells. Like that's an
Totally.
easy thing. As long as you have the real estate in your shop, then like that's easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy, like it's just what we do for customers and what we do for people to make them happy as opposed to them making us happy is really interesting, and I've been thinking about it a lot recently.
How much of it comes back to just what you like being confident in what you're worth and what your time's worth and what your mental state's worth, that you have to be a little bit more firm and like let people know that your stance on something, or what you're willing to be fine with and what you're not willing to be fine with, is really just for like the long term of like having to make all those pieces. If you're gonna agree to something early and then you're gonna have to go through the whole process of making these, and then it's gonna be like a drain on you because you're like, I should have got more money, like I should have been firmer,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're gonna resent them, and then they're gonna come back and want another order at that price. Like down the road or something, and then you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
ugh, and then you feel like you have to, but it's like, you know, you have a second chance to say like, hey, this is my new price.
Right. And they could say no, and they could say yes. You know?
Yeah. I mean, ideally, you would have a good like. I would say execute as good as you can with that first experience because you don't know. Like, hopefully, you have a repeat customer with them, or hopefully, you have a repeat experience with them, so that like, if you execute really well, the cost to them and like the investment to the risk to them to go with somebody brand new that costs the same amount or a little bit more, like between what your new price is and what your old price was, like they have that ground floor of an understanding of what they're going to expect from you and what you can execute on in a timely manner and how you communicate with them, that like it's safer for them to stay with you and go with the higher price than it is to like have the unknown of somebody brand new that they've never interacted with.
Yeah. I remember I remember when I did that job with Starbucks. God, that was such a fucking shit show. It was like, so they asked for samples and shit, and so I sent them samples and everything, and oh my god, my pots were so bad. But they did I ever tell you that I was using paper plates as bats?
Yeah, we talked about that in one of our episodes where we were like doing stuff cheap studio
Yeah, I
hacks
used
or
paper
something.
plates as bats. Anyway, because I had to put slip on them and I didn't want to move it, so I would move it onto the paper plate and then I'd recenter the piece and then I'd put the slip on. So I so anyway, we agreed on a certain amount and I never got it in writing or anything.
Quantity or
And
like
then
price?
both price and quantity. And the price never changed. And I could have probably charged more. But so the price never changed, but I like had a set quantity and then they would come back with like different amounts like every couple weeks. And like I had already made all of them,
Do you
and they
mean
were
they were
like, "Oh,
lowering it or they were
they
increasing
were
it or?
lowering it." Yeah, they lowered it. And they were like, "Oh,
Oh,
could we actually have 20 instead of 45 of
that's
these?" And
way
I was like,
lower
yeah, it was a lot lower. And I was
because
like,
you're
and I was so young and so like felt like I had to please them. But I was like, sure,
yeah,
whatever. And
because you feel like
so
you're
I had like
beholden
so
to
much.
the big Starbucks name that it's like I'm grateful that they
Yeah.
even want my business, and
Yeah,
then they
and
just like tell you what they want. That's where you're. That's I mean I don't know if you had minimums at that time, but that's where you're like you've learned at this point that it's like minimums
yeah,
are important and agreeing to a contract of like this is what we're gonna do and this is the timeline
especially
and
with big companies because big companies are the worst. And it's not because they're big companies, it's just because usually they don't work with small time people, so they don't know. They don't
and they
realize
also
what.
have probably like three different people in the decision making. You're not talking with one person
Mhm.
probably.
Right. Yeah. But it was just like it was such a like start an abusive relationship like at the beginning and I was like, ugh. And I remember it just left a really bad taste in my mouth. And everybody was like, how was that? It was fucking terrible. Like it was terrible, you know? It was horrible working for Starbucks.
Was it
And
was it both on both parties though? Like if you
oh
were at
yeah, for
a
sure.
more experienced state, you could have had a
I
better
had no idea what I
experience.
was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that that just goes to show you that like if somebody wants to take advantage of you, they will. Um, and you have to be strong enough to be like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, sometimes it's like it's better mentally just walk away from something if it's like gonna give you a headache and it's not gonna be worth
Yeah.
the money.
Yeah. Money. Yeah. Sometimes I just wish that we lived on trading, just trading goods. That'd be
Trading
nice.
goods.
Yeah.
Like Old Time Monroe, where you were trading some pots for
Hell yeah.
dinner at this place and bar
Hell yeah.
stuff from the next door neighbor and
Those are the good times. Yeah. What were you talking about? You had something that you wanted to say that you texted me and then I ignored.
I mean, it was a you ignored. It was just talking about customer service. I mean, I kind of mentioned a little bit of that. That is, I would say, front of mind um with just how you interact with your customers, and just like I mentioned earlier, try to live up to what you say you're going to do. So like even when you're early on in discussions, like I try to be as honest as I can with them. That is, I am like I'm moving right now or whatever. So like my timeline is 6 to 8 weeks. It's longer because I'm moving right now. Hopefully they understand that. Like if it doesn't fit that timeline and they say I need it in 4 weeks, I'll be like, sorry, I can't deliver in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to desperately shift my schedule and make unrealistic expectations of what I can deliver, and it's just going to stress me out way more than to overpromise and underdeliver. So I would much rather underpromise and then overdeliver. So like you get it done quicker or it's better quality. I tend to do a pretty good job of packing my stuff and reducing the amount of breakage, and
Yeah.
making sure that I put um, like paperwork in there with the the little pamphlets if people want to like give out things with their orders, or um, just taking care with your communication with them when you write up your invoices. Make sure that it's like detailed and it has what are the items, what are the quantities, what is the price you agreed on, what is the timeline. Include a photo of what you kind of talked about, of like what are the pieces that are going to be included in this. I'm kind of talking to wholesale, but it could be just any custom order or whatever. um So, because I've been doing more like shot glass wholesales lately, and I'm just kind of like adjusting, what I'm promising, and just making sure that I'm not adjusting my promises, but like making sure that I'm standardizing it a little bit.
Yeah.
But also, if it's a customer that's coming in and they're saying like, "Hey, I want to buy like 30 of these shot glasses for my wedding party." Like, okay, they're gifting them, right? So like you're not
Yeah.
going to give them a wholesale price because they're gifting them. So they'll say, is there a discount for this? So I'll discount them from $8 a piece to $7 a piece, because I would sell them for that at a show. I would sell them for $7 a piece at a show if they buy more than three. So I'm like, they're
Right.
buying 30. I'm willing to do that. And then I say, like, I like to handle this off of Etsy because it's like a commission. I can't deliver it made to order, or it's kind of like made to order ish, but it's like communicating with them that, hey, this is what I'm comfortable with. This is the price I can give you. Don't feel like it's scripted of like, this is exactly what I would say to anybody, but this is what I'm willing to do. What colors are you comfortable with? I can do a variety of colors. Having those Etsy listings of just all the different colors of shot glass options I have has been like amazing for getting customers that want to know what colors I offer and like what quantities I get. I've probably like bulk orders of shot glasses. I've probably done like 7 or 8 bulk orders of shot glasses this year just from the Etsy listings.
Yeah.
So people stumble and then I'll just get random orders all the time of shot glasses. Like I'll probably ship like 6 or 10 shot glasses every week. So, um, yeah, having those on Etsy has been amazing. And then, yeah, just sending them the invoices in a timely manner, putting reminders on there so that you don't have to bug them. They get reminded every couple days or whatever if they haven't paid it yet. Not shipping anything until it's actually paid for, making sure you're communicating with them that like, hey, I'd really like to ship this out tomorrow. I can't ship it until you're paid for. Just like, you know, don't leave things open to where it's like, okay, I'm not going to communicate with them. It's on them to communicate with me and like reach out to me. Like I'd rather get out in front of it and say like, hey, your thing's about to ship out, but I need payment or something. So,
Yeah.
um, Yeah, I just try to be pretty upfront and like think ahead of what kind of questions they could ask you and try to be putting those into your
Yeah.
responses to them so that you're getting ahead of it and you like it also just makes you sound like you're more professional with it. You're not just like willy-nilly with your processes that you're like, okay, this is what I do on a standard basis or on a regular basis. Um, I've done orders for wedding parties and like they get 30 of these. Do you care what colors? Do you want to mix and match? So um yeah, I guess that's kind of the customer service part of it. It's just
Yeah.
making sure you're upfront with them. Like I'm not trying to and I'm also like not trying to seem like I'm bigger than I am. Like it's just me. So
Yeah.
it's like I need this amount of time to do this. So I guess that's a good, I don't know. Do
I
you have
really like
anything
phone
from that?
calls. I really like phone calls. Like what I found to be the case for me at least is that um I'm pretty great uh in written word, but I find that especially with pottery, people expect a certain thing, and like especially with like wholesale accounts and stuff like that. So like mug clubs or something like that. I found that if I just pick up the phone and be like, okay, let's talk about this. Like, what are you looking for? Like, what do you want?
Hmm.
Because then I can tell you if that's not going to work or it is going to work. And it can be a really quick conversation as opposed to like going back and forth on email, like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Hmm.
And then after that conversation, type out an email saying, okay, per what we just talked about, this is what the expectations are, and this is what, um, like, this is what I will be doing for you. And this is
Hmm.
what I expect from you. Like, payment to be at this date, blah, 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 blah. And this is the price, and this
Right.
is, so I found that phone calls are extremely helpful.
Do you tend
But
to
yeah, I
remember
mean,
things from a phone call or do you jot notes as you're talking with them?
sometimes I'll jot notes for sure. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I
Or
like the written email because it's like a log and I don't
that's why
phone
I
calls
said
are
to take
just
notes and
phone
then
calls
do
are
an
just
email
such
after
a
confirming.
yeah.
Yeah, but the phone call is to like really like I've done mug clubs where they had a completely different thought of what they wanted. And then I was like, okay, but this is what's possible, you
Hmm.
know? And it would have taken 15 emails to hammer that out. And it took a 5 minute
Yeah.
phone call, you know? And that's why like you can be in front of your computer and typing out an email at the same time as talking to them,
Yeah.
you know? But
I just don't like
it's
talking on the phone, so that's not my style. Like I will reply to an email at 12:30 at night and not feel bad about it, but if I have to pencil in a phone call that I don't know if they're going to pick up, I don't know exactly what the situation is going to be like. Am I going to be I feel like the email gives me an out a little bit, like it gives me a delay in what I have to commit to and what I'm comfortable committing to. That a phone call is like I'm on the hook right now. So if they ask me something spur of the moment, I can't like craft, you know. I like to be prepared. I guess that's where the back and forth kind of gives me a little bit more of a confidence in what I'm replying with.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Oof.
I don't know that I've ever like talked to a customer on the phone that's like I want this custom thing and this is what I want over the phone. I've almost
Really?
never I mean no, I mean I'll talk with like a consignment shop over the phone maybe, but I don't really talk with like wholesale orders or things like that over the phone.
Wow.
I'm just all email.
I try not to do email. I'm like, it just doesn't work out for me.
I'm just so good with email. I don't know.
We're so
I like
different.
I like the log of just being able to look back and say like, okay, this is what we committed to. Or like
Yeah, no,
this is the
I'm
last time that I
definitely
talked with them because
yeah.
I will leave emails unread until I get back to these people. That's like, okay.
I definitely still use emails and as logs, but like I said, I'll call them on the phone and then confirm everything in an email.
Yeah.
So, which is just as good. Um, yeah.
Was there anything else in my message that I said about customer service? I can't remember.
No.
Did you pull it up?
Not really. I did pull it up and then I put it away. It says, okay, I feel like I could overlap a bit with customer service too. Handling customer requests, speaking to them at shows, if they ask for something, knowing your boundaries, meeting expectations.
Yep.
Yep.
Under promise, over deliver.
Under promise, over deliver. C's get degrees, guys. C's get degrees.
What'd you say? C's to get degrees?
C's get degrees.
Oh, okay.
Why is that not a common saying anywhere? Literally, my mother told me that when I was in college. C's get degrees.
Okay. Maybe it's regional. I don't know. Maybe it's just your family.
I don't know.
I've never heard that, but I mean, it makes sense.
It's like all you have to do is get a C. All you got to do is get a C, and that's how you're gonna like get through this, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder. Like. I don't know. I would imagine as a wholesaler, like buying wholesale, you probably get all kinds of clients, right?
Oh, sure.
I would imagine reaching out to some people, they're not as organized. I know I'm always pretty organized. I might take a few days to get back to you, but I'll be organized with my response. But
oh, I remembered what I was gonna say. Yeah, I'm not always organized, almost ever. But I like to keep a pretty, straight and narrow. But what I was also gonna say is what I really appreciated with my wholesale clients. A lot of them followed me on Instagram, and I would like post updates so that they kind of like knew where they were in the mix. And,
okay. Did you tag them though as you were making it?
Yeah, sometimes I would tag them, sometimes I wouldn't. But like, yeah, it's nice, and it's nice to be like if you're having like a rough week, be like, this week was so long. Make it very known that it was a long week, so they might, and then
because of their order.
Yeah, or something, and then send them a message being like, by the way, it might come 2 days later. And then they'll be like, oh, I saw your Instagram story. Looks like you had a rough week.
Yeah. I actually do get some back and forth with like consignment shops or a couple wholesalers maybe that'll interact and be like, give me thumbs up or something. I do like tagging them as I'm getting it close to being shipped or being packed up because I feel like it gives them something to share for their customers to be like, hey, look what's coming to the shop. And it's actually like handmade and it's being worked on right now. And it'll be in the shop next week or something. So like it gives them something to get excited about because they're about to get a new shiny package. And then they're like, my customers will like this. So I think that's pretty cool for them too.
For sure. For sure.
I feel like we talked a number of times about like customers at shows too. I'm getting more comfortable about, if people ask me for certain things, I'm just like, go to this person or sorry, I don't make that. Or like recently people were like, I'm at the plate phase. I'm trying to buy plates. I'd be like, I make plates. I don't bring them at shows because they take up too much table space. And honestly, it really just breeds more questions about, can I have you make a whole set of plates for my dishes? And I'm like, I just don't honestly like making plates that much. So I just don't
like, not my cow.
So I told her that and she's like, yeah, I get it. Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I just don't even bring plates anymore. Like I haven't made a plate in like 2 years.
Well, even at your show at Berea, I like you would be like, Becca, who do you know that does this? I'm like, oh yeah, this person. Like I have like just all of these names in my back pocket of people that make certain things that I don't want to make, that I'm just like, here, go spend your money with this person.
Do you make any hand warmer mugs? Nope. John Schmidt Pottery does though. You should go check them out. They will sell quickly.
Yeah, for sure. How about like I was thinking about some of my favorite customers. I have this one customer that she's been a customer of mine for years, and she is down in California, over and down in California now. And when I left, she was like, I have this gift card from you, and I was planning on getting a whole place setting. And normally I would be like, sucks for you. But
Sorry, I don't
but
make place settings anymore. I left those in Washington.
right. But she's like one of those people that I was like, once I get my kiln, I will make you an entire place setting. Like, count on it, you know? And
Plus, it's a gift card, so it's like, oh man.
and she bought it specifically for the place setting.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's a big gift card then.
It's like $160.
I mean, that's not enough for a place setting, but
I know, but it was like, or maybe it was more. It was one of the gift cards flash sales that I did that was like,
oh,
if you buy it in the first 20 minutes, you get double.
oh my gosh, do you regret doing that?
No, I don't. Because
I mean,
most
that's
of
an
the
easy way to just get cash, and then people just don't use them, right?
that was great.
I feel like there's something wrong here with doing that, but
Is there
I
though?
mean,
I mean, like I
it's
hadn't
still on
planned
them
on.
to redeem it. So
Yeah, a lot of people did redeem them. I hadn't planned on selling the shop. Like the shop was a long-term thing for me, so
mhm.
it just turned
Yeah,
quickly.
that
And of
wasn't
course,
a going out of business flash sale gift card.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
No.
And a lot of people bought them for classes, and used them for
Oh
classes.
yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, you just save money, right? You're just that's like I did that at Queen City Clay. They did a sale like that when they were moving, and they were like, you spend $100 on a gift card and you get $125 worth or something. It's like
Yeah,
I'm gonna spend
and
money
it
there anyways. I'm just gonna buy it.
she was one of the very few that was out of state that bought a gift card. Most everybody was local. Um, but yeah, so anyway, I still have to make her a place setting. But
Nice.
it's like those customers that are, but you just have such a history with them. You're like, I'll make you anything. I will literally make you anything. Like they're so easy to please, and they just love everything that you do. And you're like, tell me what you want. like, like
Yeah,
you want 35 plates? Fine, let's do it.
love it. Yeah, I don't have any usually my customers that I interact with a lot. I mean, I'll see them at shows a lot because it's local and I do a lot of local shows, so I'll see them over and over. I don't really have like a relationship like that with them where it's like back and
Mhm.
forth and we're like really chatty and all this stuff, but like I acknowledge that like they support me and like keep seeing me at shows, and then they'll make comments like, "Hey, I use my oil bottle all the time now. I got this from you
Yeah,
last time and it's really nice." There's a couple that I saw at the show in October that I've seen like 3 times or 4 times, like they bought from me multiple times. Um, and it was initially like, hey, she reached out and she was trying to buy something for her daughter's wedding, and she actually came to my studio and looked at my stuff in the studio and got like a pitcher and a serving bowl, I think, and then
yeah,
she got like a mug for herself. So she got those three and like bought it directly from my studio, which was cool. And then I saw her at a show, I think like 6 months later, maybe, and her daughter came with her, the one that she gifted it to. So like they were shopping again, and then she was like, "Oh, I got your picture and stuff." Like yeah, that's me and whatnot. So she got to meet me, and then they ended up buying something else. And then I just saw him at the show last week or last month, and earlier this month. And then they bought like, hey, I just bought 4 mugs. 2 of these are for a wedding gift for this couple, and then 2 of these are for another couple. So it's like they just keep finding ways to support me and just
yeah,
keep finding, it could be like somebody comes to their house and acknowledges that they see their pottery and they're like, oh, that's really cool. Or they're just like, I want to give them a gift for their wedding that's not off a registry because that's boring. So
right.
I feel like those are some of the better customers that it's like, hey, she gifted to her daughter and now her daughter's coming. And then, her daughter bought some things and then she bought some things. And um, so, yeah, they're pretty supportive of, they stand out to me now because I saw them at a show most recently, but I have a few of those kind of customers that I'll see over and over. And it's nice to interact with them.
Yeah, for sure. Customers can be terrible and they can be like the best. And that's what's frustrating.
Yeah. I feel like the more risky ones are for those bulk orders. That's where I don't get intimidated by like the individual like custom orders because it's easy for me to like shoo that away because it's just one thing and I know like it's not going to be worth that $60 or $100 or whatever. Like I'm fine with that because like hey, I can sell like 3 mugs and make that amount of money. Like it's not going to kill me to say no. But if it's like a wholesale order, it's like, yeah, I would like that because it's like $250 or $300 or whatever. And it's something that you just have to make a lot of the smaller things and like, hey, it should be relatively easy as long as their timeline is realistic and like if they're trying to like rush the timeline or they want a bigger discount or something, then it's like little iffy. So those are a little tougher, like, but also, you know, I'm pretty firm with my timeline. I'm firm with my minimums. I think if it's like shot glasses, I might lower the minimum because you can make a lot of shot glasses to hit $250 or three. I think my shot glass one might be $200 worth.
Yeah.
I just generally have a lot of those in stock all the time anyways, or I'm making a lot of them anyways. So, but yeah, I mean, and it's not like hard and fast. Like it's always $250 or $300. Like if it's mugs, I might set the minimum at $300 or $250.
Yeah.
But if it's shot glasses or like spoon rests, I might lower it to like 200 or 250. Like it's all right. You can adjust it. It also is like how much I enjoy making this thing.
Right.
Like I don't want to make 75 of these 75 mugs or something. It's like like it's like can we try like 30 and make sure you're happy with them?
Yeah.
And then I bill you for 30. I deliver the first 30 and then we see like what the next, you know, I don't know. So
I don't really have anything more to say.
okay.
Do you have more to say?
You're talking about is that the I feel like you said there was a wholesale order that was waiting for you when you got there. Is that the one you're talking about? The play setting? Or was there a wholesale order that you said you were gonna have to do when you got your studio up and running?
No, I think it was the place setting.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a setting of 8. It's like an 8-piece play setting.
Yeah. But that customer sounds like they're just gonna enjoy it, whatever it ends up becoming.
Yeah, and she's like followed me for a long time, so I think she knows that she for sure knows that I would not forget her. And she knew that I was like waiting on a kiln. So yeah. I gotta make them. I just have to see if she wants speckled clay or not. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel guilty about leaving people hanging a little bit with their timeline and like I get it, like I promised this to you or I said I could do this and it's like I don't not want to do it, but you know it's like the timing of things.
You know what
It's
makes
like
me
there are pressing things that I need to do, like restocking for shows. Like I can't show up to a show with half of my inventory. So like that has to be priority to get things in the works.
Do you know what's like the biggest like oof like the biggest oof of my life is like when people say take your time.
So you never want it?
Yeah, so you never want it. And then like it's literally taken me a year to make one bowl. And what's worse is that like you put it on a piece of paper and literally all the things that you've been putting off for a year and a half took half a day to make. Like half a day.
I find that a lot with like experimental pieces. Like if it's a brand new form that I've not made, but it's like within my wheelhouse, like the jigger, the shot glass thing. That's like I got to a point now they're bisque fired, and they're like ready to go. I've got like 10 of them. I need to
Mm-hmm.
glaze them and stuff, but it's like it took me so long just to make them because
Just to make them.
the first time I made, like, they're just shot glasses, but like the first time I made them, the tiny shot glasses, they dried out too quickly. So like
Yeah.
I keep putting it off because I'm like, every time I make shot glasses, I'm like, well, I gotta baby these because they can't dry out too quickly. I gotta sponge off the bottom, and I gotta like score it and put it with the other one and make sure that like they're the same consistency. So it's like it's little things, but it's a timing thing that's like
Yeah,
it's
it
just
just
gotta
like
work.
scoots to the end of the list. It's just like scoots its own way down. Just scoot on down.
Yeah,
Oh, another thing happened. Scoot down. Like,
yeah. Sorry, I'll get to you on at the end of this week, and then you're like something else pops up between now and the end of the week, and you're like, okay, well that's gonna take priority. I'm gonna focus on that. Yep, keep scooting,
yeah.
keep scooting. Like literally, somebody contacts me in like February about something, and they're like, I don't need it like now, but like I'd like it, and it's like,
Yeah.
let me experiment and see if I can give you a price. Like I don't really know. I'm not confident in this thing. Like this is a new thing, but yeah. At this point, I'm like, like this in the back of your mind that like you keep thinking about this every now and then. I wonder if the customer is thinking that, like, oh, it must be it's going to be fucking amazing because it's taken them like 9 months to do it. But it's
I
really
just
like,
count on them forgetting.
and I still have that email marked as unread so I don't forget about it. But it just looms in my
Yeah.
unread folder, and I'm like,
And
fuck,
in
I
the
don't want
back
to
of your
do
mind, you're
this.
like, no.
And then it's like, if you brought it up to them and said, I know that I promised or I said I was going to do some of this, but I guess at this point I made some samples and like I just can't commit to doing this. Like, would that even be in their mind that you even promised to do this, or is it just something that just didn't work out and they understood?
Yeah, like, is there a point where you're just like, can we just agree to that this isn't gonna work out?
Yeah.
Can we just like my neighbor ordered a bowl and that's the bowl that took a year. Like I still,
Your next door neighbor.
yeah, I saw them every day pretty much
Did
for
they
a
ever
whole
did
fucking
they
year.
ever throw little comments in there like, "Hey, how's my bowl going?"
Hospital and then it was like it was just sitting there and the cats would get in it and stuff like that, like Bisque. And I would just like look at it and like not glaze it.
Oh, it was Bisque Fire too.
Yeah, it was wow.
Was it just like it's one of those hurdles where it's like, it doesn't fit in my glaze bucket. Fuck. I'm just not gonna glaze it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta find a
probably.
bin that's big enough and I gotta pour it, and is it gonna look consistent? I gotta wax the bottom, and how, I gotta put this on a banding wheel, or
And then you give it to them and you're just like, just take it. I don't want your money. Just fucking take it.
it's out of my life and that's good enough for me.
Like, I'm sorry it took me a year.
Oh my gosh. I have one of those situations going on right now. It's like my she's never gonna listen to this, but my aunt is asking for a bottle. She's called me like 2 or 3 times or whatever. Like we've communicated through Facebook,
Yeah.
and she wants an oil bottle.
Okay.
I think I have an idea what color she wants, whatnot. Um, and we talked like once through Facebook of like, this is what I think I want, and then she's like called me, and I told you earlier about the phone call. Like, I'm not gonna pencil in a phone call because I don't know when you're available. I'll fucking call at 9 o'clock at night. I don't know if 9 o'clock at night's too late for you. I want to pencil it in for 6 p.m. after work, but it's like I got shit that I want to do because I'm off work. Like I don't want to call somebody, but I'm almost gonna be to this point where it's like, here's an oil bottle. Like, is one of these good? All right, take it. Like I don't even want your money. Like,
Just take it.
because then they're gonna be like, how do we pay you? And if I send them an invoice, like they're probably not gonna be able to pay the invoice online. They're more like a check or cash person. So it's like, How am I going to get it to you? Like, I'll ship it to you. I don't even need the money. Just, I'll ship it to you. And then that feels like, am I really just like, I can't even talk with them for this period of time? Like, they're such a nuisance to me to talk to them. We've had this communication for like a month and a half now that it's like, we've never got to this point. Like, I assume that's what they're going to ask for, but, you know.
We are something else.
The phone call is such a fucking hurdle for me. I do not like returning people's phone calls. You like talking on the phone.
Did I ever tell you about Beatrice?
Yes, you did.
Did I ever give you did I ever play you the recording of her?
Wait. Of you saying that you're Beatrice? Is that what you're talking
about? No. Okay, no. I had this customer once. Her name was Beatrice.
No.
And
we did not
this
talk
is
about
one of
this.
those this is like a paint your own pottery customer. She was like 70 something years old. But like an old 70 something or 80. And she could barely walk. She used to be a missionary. She's Jewish. And she wanted me to make her some plates that were flowers so that she could do like some Jewish sayings on them. And she wanted to paint them herself, but she had like really shaky hands, so I ended up painting them. But she would come into my studio like every Tuesday and hang out with me. And I just want you to listen to this. So her name's Beatrice, and she called me when I moved. She called me after I closed the store and when I moved.
She's like, I'm standing outside the store, and you're not here. I see closed for business. What's going on?
Yeah, basically. So I'm, but
really?
But just wait.
Made that up. Okay, let's hear this.
Hello, this is Beatrice Ruley, and this is Friday the 19th of March, and I'm calling to find out, are you still working with ceramics? I wonder if you're allowed to have me come to your place, and where are you located? If you could call back.
Oh no, I deleted it. I didn't mean to delete it.
You can go to recently deleted and recover it probably, if you want to keep that memory of Beatrice.
I kind of do want to keep that memory of Beatrice, but that's another phone call that I put off forever because I was like, I can't.
No.
I was like, I don't know how to call you back and tell you that like I'm not there.
And I moved. Yeah.
That was tough. That was a tough one.
That is tough.
Yeah.
Did you make that call?
I did.
That was in March. When did you make that call?
I made it. It was pretty recently because it was, she's like 80. I can't keep her waiting that.
So you did it within like a week or two?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's not. But I
tried to make sure that it was when I could leave a message instead of talk to her on the phone.
How do you know though? How do you know what time's good?
Usually dinner time is a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're probably calling a house phone at that point, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
At that age?
Well, you're calling the caretaker's phone, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And anyway, Beatrice.
I was mixing up Beatrice with your
oh no, that was video. Beatrice as well.
That was Beatrice.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Beatrice. I like to sell these cups. Would you like to buy these cups? They're for sale.
These are the shitty cups. Oh, man.
The shitty cups.
All right. Anything else about customers? And I feel like we talked a roundabout number of things here. I don't know if it's just customers, but
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if this was a helpful episode or not, but we have to have some duds.
I think there's a couple gems in here. I mean, everything can't be a fucking home run here, Becca. I mean,
that's right.
Let's just be honest. I mean, some of these past
Fucking can't be a
episodes, you
fucking
listen
home
to it,
run.
it's like, I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? Oh, great.
Fucking A, man.
Oh, we need to get together again soon. I don't know when, but we'll figure something out.
Yeah, because I want to come see the house when it's all decorated.
You mean when there's not boxes every single place? I mean, there's boxes everywhere. It's getting a little bit more organized, but I'm just ready to get this kiln here. I think I'm going to get a kiln here this weekend. That's one of my goals for the weekend. Get the Olympic over here. We got the wiring done. Just plug it up, fire it up, open the windows, open the doors, let the heat go out, and
is there a window downstairs?
There's a window in that area where the kilns are going to be, but it doesn't open. It's closed. We're gonna have to drill a hole through the wall to do the venting. But
concrete wall.
Yeah, I had to get a concrete bit for that. 4-inch bit.
Fuck me, man. What the hell?
There's no siding, so
that's gonna take forever.
I know. My dad's gonna help us do it on Halloween weekend.
Fuck.
I mean, I suggested, I was like, Dad, can we just we can knock out this window and just get some people to come install those glass blocks in here, and we can just install one of them that's got the little vent on it and just hook it up to that.
Yeah, why not do that?
He was like, that's a new window. Like, you don't want... I'm like, I don't really care, but I mean...
Oh, don't. Put the window out. Just take the fucking window out. and then put a little fan in there so you can blow heat out in the summer.
I mean, it's going to be vented. Blow heat out in the summer? Heat out of where?
Mm-hmm.
Out of the room?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to vent.
I know, but it's just venting the kiln. It's not venting the whole room. You could just put a little fan in there.
Yeah.
Like a farmer fan. Not a farmer, like a greenhouse fan.
Yeah. Like you were talking with Josh about for the... Yeah. I mean, I'm open to that. I would almost rather do the glass block thing. I don't know if that's a quick install though, or if that's like a 3 or 4 week thing to hey, come in here, smash my window, put some blocks in.
Yeah. I mean, you could just put some fucking plywood up.
I'm not gonna do that.
Well, I mean, for the time being.
I'm not gonna break the window. The winter's coming.
That's true. I put a vent on my kiln. First ever vent that I've ever put in my kiln, and I'm trying to fucking drill it in the bottom of this fucking kiln. And I call Rebecca.
Drill what? You're trying to attach the vent cup to the bottom of it?
Yes. And because I've never done this before, and I did not look up a video.
I don't think you attach it though.
Just let me finish my story.
Go ahead.
And I messaged Rebecca, and I was like, "What the fuck? I can't put this in the bottom. It's not fitting." And she goes, "Oh, I just propped it up with bricks." And I was like, "Damn it."
Is it like mine that has the screw and the adjustable foot, so it actually goes up and down to the bottom of your kiln?
No, we do things the white trash way around here, and it is literally a dryer hose.
Oh, okay. But you need to make sure that it's a certain height so that it is actually right against the bottom of the kiln.
Right? Yeah, well, it's not. It's
close enough.
It's close enough. But really the vent is for the landlord. It's for the fire department. It's not.
And it's deceiving. I didn't realize when I first got my vent that the holes that you're drilling in there are only 3/8 inch holes. And there's 2 of them.
Inch, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a big hole or anything. So, yeah. So we'll see that the kiln's coming along. Hopefully we'll get that here. The wiring was hell of a task a couple weeks ago. But we got it. That wiring is not cheap either. That was my dad and I did it, and my father-in-law came over. I don't know if we talked about this, but we did all the wiring for the kiln. My dad does outdoor electrical work, so he knows what the fuck he's doing. And that wire costs like $300.
Yeah, it's expensive.
And then I was like, Dad, what would this have cost if you had like an actual electrician like do this? He's like, it probably would have been like $1,500 to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because we literally spent the entire day. It was like a day and a half job.
Yeah.
To run. I think we ended up running probably about 90 foot, maybe 85 foot of wire from the box to from the breaker box to the kiln area. And we've got 2 receptacles. So pretty nice, but yeah. That's why it's like, that's one thing. It's like, you don't want to be moving a lot because that shit will rack up. Plus it's like, that just the task of doing this and like moving kilns, like I don't want to have to move kilns. Like I hope I don't have to move these kilns again for another like 10 years.
I've moved so many fucking kilns.
I'm dreading moving the L&L because it's like got that back spine on it that's like attached. So I think I'm just gonna move it in a U-Haul or something so I don't have to separate it.
You have a friend that has a trailer you can borrow?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a U-Haul though, based on the timing of it and stuff. Might be able to get that on a dolly or something and roll it, and then I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, we put mine on a trailer and then borrowed a trailer from one of the guys at my studio and then put like 5 pieces of cardboard down and then put the kiln on and then strapped it in and then
so you wrap the kiln in cardboard around it and then you strap the cardboard to it?
No, it was a bare kiln. We just put cardboard down on the bottom.
Oh, okay. Because you didn't have the stand was just on the side or whatever. You just didn't want it scraping on the. Gotcha.
It took 4 people to move it off of that trailer. The fucking cone art kilns weigh so much.
Plus the lids are like cement or like the lids are so dense, right?
They're very dense. Like, and the bottom's metal. And like you don't want to take it apart because like the whole back, the whole like lid lifter and everything is like all connected.
Yeah, just
and
like the L&L.
I was like, I don't want to fucking take this shit apart. Like, no, thank you. No.
I did it once to get it into my CRV.
Yeah.
Into my Rogue. And it was a nightmare. Like, the springs on that thing, like, springing up and shit. It's like, oh my God, you're about to kill somebody with that thing springing up.
Yeah, and like, I was like, I'm borrowing a trailer. And so I borrowed it for like 3 hours. And yeah, but it took 4 people to get it off. It's so fucking heavy. And then we moved it. Me, Merritt, and Sarah moved it. The 3 of us from the pallet to the stand. And it was still a pain in the ass.
Actually, I think I am going to have to take it apart.
Why?
I don't know that I can get it. First off, our fucking back doors are so fucking tiny. Like, and there's 2 doors that slide. You can't remove one of them. You can't remove both of them. You slide it open. It's like 28 inches across. Like, it's not even a fucking door frame, like, width.
Yeah.
So you have to bring it down the main stairs. And that's like, it's wide enough to get a washer and dryer up because we did move one of those up. But the heaviness of a fucking kiln going down that, I don't think that's going to happen. So we're going to have to take it apart.
That sucks. So sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry.
I'm not worried about the Olympic. Like I've moved that one in pieces. It's already a little bit fragile anyways, but
oh yeah, Olympics are easy to move in pieces.
Like, yeah, that's fine. I've moved that. But the L&L, that's the lid assist is the deal breaker here that's gonna suck, but
yeah. Fuck.
We'll figure it out.
You'll get it.
Yeah. Maybe you can help move that when we get to
Nope. Nope. I will not be present that weekend. I apologize in advance.
You did not know.
I am not that
transporting a kiln.
Not that friend. Thank you.
All right. Well, anyways, we'll get the studio. I want to start throwing some things. I once I get the tables and stuff in here, I'm gonna start throwing some things next week. Hopefully, maybe I'll throw some shot glasses. Get back into it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. All right.
Cool.
All right. Y'all got a little extra 10 minutes there at the end. Enjoyed it, hopefully.
Yeah. Jabbering. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, sweet mother of God. So tired.
Episode 117. What are we calling this? Customers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired too. I didn't know, like, I feel like I've, like, for my day job, I feel like I've never worked harder in my life. And it's like, it's draining.
It's draining.
Marvel's like over there sitting on the ottoman. I don't think you can see her, but she's like, you're not gonna be able to see her. You can kind of see her. She's on the ottoman right there.
Oh yeah.
She's like curled up in a ball on that little round ottoman. You can see the basement's been getting set up a little bit.
Yeah, it looks nice.
We moved the wall over to the opposite side. The wall is over there now.
Yeah, looks nice.
I think we might end up leaving it over there. It's
It looks
covering up
good.
it's covering up the wall mount. I think we might take the wall mount and attach it to that, and we might put a TV on that and attach it to the wall. Attach the the wall to the wall somehow.
The wall to the wall.
Yeah.
Window to the wall.
So we'll see. It was just so awkward. We were trying to like make something happen with a wall divider and like packing station, but it's like it's too bulky.
Yeah.
It just did not make sense. So Rachel's got her tiki stuff set up. Yeah. All right, it is converting it. I will upload it. Did you reload that voicemail, by the way? I think it puts it into like a deleted folder. I don't think it actually deletes it.
It's fine. I have another voicemail from her.
Okay.
So funny. Chris. Beatrice.
Beatrice.
Beatrice. Beatrice. I have this weird scratchy throat. It's like I ate something and there's like a hair stuck in my throat or something.
Close. Would you go to a hockey game?
Yeah.
If we went to a nice. Kind of want to go to a I kind of want to go to a hockey game when you're in town if we can.
Yeah.
I should do that. Oh, so I'm thinking about this. So we're still going through house showings. We're not sure on timing of things, so I'm trying to figure out. I don't know what to do about this open studio, open house thing for the ceramic show. So I've already communicated to people that have bought stuff at shows. I include the little paper with my upcoming shows, and I put November 6th and 7th on there with the Southgate address, with our old house address. I haven't technically created an event for it on Facebook and like advertised it to anybody else.
Okay.
And I'm not sure, like, we're still going to have the house at that point, but I'm just not sure if it's going to be like beneficial for me to have it there with like having a for sale sign in the front yard. If I'm going to like get enough customers from like the neighborhood to come, I think I would, more so than like having people come to the new house and like do it outside on the lawn. Like, I don't know. Kind of weird on advertising, and I'm like I think I should still do it. I don't want to like cancel it, but I don't know where to do it at. Because I'm gonna have to move. I'm gonna have to move all the stuff back to the old house to like set it up in the basement, which is not like terrible. Like that's not a bad thing necessarily. Um, but it's just kind of weird. Like I don't know what to do with it. Plus, we're still like waiting to see if we like get an offer. So I would hope that we're not to that point at that time, and it's like that week there's still showings going on because I don't want to have everything set up and stuff. But it's like ideally there would be like inspections and stuff happening, but I feel like it's more of a risk to have it at the old house. Even though the customers would probably be familiar with it and like come and whatnot versus like doing it at the new house, I feel like nobody would show up, but it's like I don't know, maybe they would.
Dude, being at the end of a block is kind of suck for that kind of thing.
Because the parking and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus I don't know the neighbors yet, and I don't know like the neighborhood and stuff, so it's like I don't know if I mean last year all I did was I like knocked on doors and like said, "Hey, I've got this sign for this show that I'm doing at the end of the block or that, here this weekend. Can I put this sign in your front yard for a couple days or for, a few days?" And like they were cool with it. I feel like they might be more welcoming cuz like, "Hey, we just moved down the street and I'm doing this holiday show for my pottery. Can I put this in your yard?" Um, but like we don't get a lot of traffic, so it's like it's more for the people that are either in the two streets that live there or people that are coming to the show and need to know where to go. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And,
You just
it's just cancel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like I should still do it. I feel like it, but I mean, I don't know how many people knew about it or are gonna expect it. Like, am I risking people coming to the old house and like the day of?
Yeah.
Or how do I like communicate that? Do I put it on my like Facebook? Hey, I planned on doing this, but it's not gonna happen, and this is why, and hope that people see it. But I never really advertised it to anybody on social. Yeah, I just don't know. I think if I did do it anyways, it would only be Saturday. I don't really want to do a 2-day thing if I don't have to.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like I committed to it on my documentation, and I'm like, how many people know about this? Am I gonna miss out? Because I don't have any other show in November, so it's like, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I think that if it was me, I would cancel it. And I'd just be like, you know what? No.
Would you actually maybe I could yeah, I'm trying to think of the way to like um to vocalize it. Like is it worth sending out something to my mailing list or something and say like, "Hey, I was planning on doing this, but I can't do it." instead I'm gonna do like, should I do something as an alternative? Should I do like an online thing instead? Like, should I list
Yeah.
new items online on that day instead?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do like nothing.
Or you could do like a fun little Christmas mystery box.
Okay.
Just like a regular mystery box, not second.
Yeah. Actually, maybe that's not a bad idea. Like, what if I did a hey, I'm gonna list some things. I do have mystery boxes available.
Yeah.
Should I ship all of them, or should I say like you can also pick them, like you can pick them up at our new house? Like, we moved. Big news, we moved.
Yeah.
I normally planned on doing my holiday show this weekend. I am not doing that. But I will be listing some things online and selling mystery boxes. I have 30 available if you'd like to buy them.
Yeah, and then say if you do come and pick up your mystery box, you're more than welcome to take a look at my stock that I have if you want anything specific.
Okay. Like, you could pick up your online order in person kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know that I want to like have them looking at the house and stuff because it's like pretty shitty here, but
Oh, then don't say that. Just say you can pick up outside.
yeah, you could pick up your mystery box.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm probably overthinking it. Like, I'm not going to get that many. Like, I could get like 5 or 7 mystery boxes or something that people order locally that want to pick them up just for a day out to go get them. But
Did you upload it to Google?
no. I was talking too much.
Talking.
Okay, it's uploading now. Let's see how quickly it uploads because it's better speed. Okay, that's not a bad idea. I feel like I could. I feel confident I could commit to that because I have enough stock right now and I don't have any shows until. Actually, I do have other shows in November. I shouldn't feel that bad about it. That was quick. I do have a show on November 20th, so like maybe I shouldn't feel bad about canceling it. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll plan to do something like that and talk to my mailing list and then send out through social.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool. All
Cool.
right. I will talk to you later.
Bye. Go to
All right.
sleep.
Bye. Yeah.
Bye.
You too.